there is need for interaction globally. No man is an island.
I think it's really important to look at past cultures and to look deeply at the way people within a culture behave in response to certain kinds of problems.
You cannot separate language learning or literature from culture. It just goes one with the other.
It's very difficult to make a difference in the world if you don't understand what you're looking at and you don't understand the people that you're talking to.
My first goal in the class is really to open up students' ears to a different musical system.
The Musics of India class covered Indian history as well as the classical and folk musics of the different regions of India. The paper I chose to write on was about Indian culture and music and its influence on George Harrison of the Beatles.
Esta misma mujer que está, my course in particular is looking at Latin America, and we start looking right past or even including a little bit of modernism because it's one of the first literary movements that actually impacts the peninsular literature.
One assignment that I did for the class was finding art pieces that reflected Pablo Neruda's poem Walking Around. And I actually studied abroad in Barcelona last semester. So I was able to use some of the art that I learned about.
You never know where you'll end up in life. And with the global community that we have now, very often people will go abroad, and it's better if they have an understanding of culture.
I start with that grassroots education on Yoruba in the diaspora. Then I go on to politics, religion, language.
In South America, the major assignment for my students was to conduct their own site visit. Instead of being a classroom course, my course was very much a field course, so every day when we met in the class, we would touch base, and then we would head out the front door of the apartment building in central Buenos Aires.
I use literary texts to try to explain what people are thinking about, what their values are, what their concerns are, how they view the world. But I also try to use material culture, objects and monuments, to give us a sense of that side of society that's not represented by the literary sources. Slaves, women, children. One of the things that they take away in general is a sense of some of the big questions of Western thought.
Culture is not something which is simply of academic interest or of aesthetic interest. It has major impacts on such things as climate policy, for example, or global political and economic planning.
All countries and all cultures are so much more interconnected these days, and you're very likely to be in close contact with somebody from another culture in practically any profession.
When you get on the job, you will be working with, it does not matter whether you're a lawyer or a doctor or an engineer, you will be working with other people from other nations. How do you relate to them? How do you understand their culture?
Taking a global cultures class and exploring in detail another culture allows us to think a little bit more critically about our own culture, to look at it from outside, to develop, again, a set of eyes that not only allow you to see something from inside, even if it's not yours, but to see your culture from outside, even though you're a participant.